I was in a relationship with this man for 2.5 years. At the start things were okay. He was different, but I couldn't put my finger on it. He just seemed lost. I wanted to help him and turn his life around. Things started to escalate. Name calling, intimidation. I started to lose my self-esteem and I fell into his control. I fell pregnant after a year. Suddenly I was his. There was no escape. I was trapped. He raped me. I remember it was a warm day. I had this black dress on and he pulled me off the floor of the sofa. I was scared. I wanted to protect my unborn child. I cried. I closed my eyes till it stopped.
Sexual violence doesn't just take place between strangers. It more often than not happens in relationships, acquaintances, and even within families.
People seem to assume that if someone tried to rape them, they'd fight them off and that would be that. In my case, it was done by someone I trusted and came as a huge shock. When it happened, I froze, which allowed him to have his way.
Rape and sexual violence happen everywhere, every minute of every day. It can affect anyone, male, female, young, old, anyone.
I was 4 years old. We lived not very far from here. Feel quite sad when I think about that. And my mother met a new man, and so my dad went to work one day and we moved house. And I didn't get to say goodbye. And over the next 3 years I was groomed for my mum's partner, and then I was systematically raped every day, twice a day, 365 days a year for about 11 years.
As Police Crime Commissioner, I've really got to get the message home that sexual violence is not okay. We have to change behaviours, we have to change attitudes so that society can rid itself of this awful crime.
Everyone says, why didn't you run away? Why don't you kick him between the legs? But it's not that easy when you're so frightened. You just need to get the safest way out of there, and sometimes doing nothing's the way to go.
Abuse had a massive effect on my life because it completely changed the person that I was. I found that I was shut off emotionally, I couldn't really trust anybody, and I found that I wasn't myself, and I felt like I was living in a big secret that I just couldn't get out of, and in the end it was just eating me up inside.
It stopped when my baby was 5 months old. He went out one night and raped a stranger. He was then sentenced to 10 years in prison. He may have got 10 years without freedom, but I have a lifetime of bad memories. I'm lucky, I escaped, I'm free, I've got the chance to save myself.
So when I was about 14 or 15, senior school, I remember going out to somewhere in Lulworth and standing on the edge of the cliff and thinking, I need to jump because death is going to be much better than the life I'm living. But something inside said, no, stay with this, you know. And I went home and I was raped again until I was old enough to leave.
Evidence shows us that a high percentage of survivors do not report the offences against them as they feel misplaced shame or fear or other emotions that act as a barrier to talking about their experiences.
The advice I would give someone going through this is, I remember asking someone from Dorset Rape Crisis, when will it get better? When will the hurt go away? I'll never forget these words. It does get better, it just takes time. One day you will think, I haven't thought about it in a couple of days. Then days turn to weeks and you will slowly rebuild your life.
Therapy taught me that actually I'm a living human being.
We're aware that barriers exist in the criminal justice system and that these prevent victims from coming forward, and we're working incredibly hard to remove those barriers and empower survivors to come forward and seek help.
Never keep abuse to yourself. Keeping the secret will eat you up inside. Justice won't always happen in court, but one small justice is letting the abuser know you're not too scared to tell the truth anymore.
The first step is the biggest. That's the hardest step to take.
My name is Alicia and I am a survivor.
My name is Jules and I'm no longer a survivor, I'm someone who's survived.
My name is Sam and I am a survivor.